Hi there, it's Psychic Cynthia here, Spiritual Psychic Cynthia Killian, and welcome. And today I wanted to talk a bit about the energies that we're experiencing right now in this time that we're in the year 2020. But also I wanted to talk bigger picture too about things like making your dreams come true and standing strong in the midst of cosmic storms. So whenever you're watching this video, whatever year it's in, it really doesn't matter because we're going through part of a very much larger cycles that last in some cases hundreds, if not thousands of years long. So I'm sure it can have some relevancy to you. And at this particular time-space continuum that I am broadcasting from, we are really thick in the deep depths of transformation, and we have entered a time in this year in 2020 where we're having quite a few astrological and cosmic shifts. And for those of you who don't know that, in addition to being a psychic medium, I am a very experienced astrologer as well. So astrology was, along with the runes, it was the first divination system that I learned, and I've spent my life mastering it. Notice I've said mastering, I'm still mastering it. So anyway, there's a lot to this to help us on our spiritual psychic journeys. And we see this year, in fact, tomorrow, the day after I'm filming this, on, I guess it'd be January 12th, 2020, we'll have the infamous Saturn-Pluto alignment. And don't worry if you don't know what any of that means, but let's just summarize it all by saying, or maybe I will ask you, have you been experiencing a dark night of the soul, dear one? Have you had something ripped out of your life that you didn't want to let go of? Have there been inevitable and yet unwelcome endings in your life? Changes that seem to have been thrust upon you? Has something in your life passed away, something that you loved and cherished, or someone? Have you had to let go of that? Perhaps a way of life, a way of being, a friendship, even an organization, a job, a passion, something that you really relied upon in the past, something that was your steadfast support. Has something like that been taken from you? Something you assumed that would always be there, or at least be there a little while longer? Has that passed away from your life recently, either very recently or maybe in the last year or so? If so, then you're in the right place for hearing this message today. And what's happening at the time I'm filming this video is that we're being initiated into a time of truly great transformation, but we're only being initiated into that, and we're doing that by, how I like to think of it, finding our spines, or walking the path of the tree of life. The tree of life is an image that is found in many religious and spiritual traditions throughout the world, and it's this idea, especially when you get back to the shamanic roots of it, no pun intended, this idea that there is a perhaps actual or metaphorical both tree that connects all the realms and holds all the realities together. And there are times, I think, when the tree of life is more fully activated than others, when, it's almost like all the branches are lit up and fired up at once. And that's sort of what we're in right now, where there is a great burning in the tree of life. It's almost like the ancient story of Ragnorak, and when the tree of life is set on fire. But it does survive, at least the inner core survives. Actually, the outer core burns away, but the inner core survives. And out of that, 2 new humans come in the Ragnorak myth. If you're not familiar with that myth, that's the ancient Nordic myth, the tale that the Vikings carried about the tree of life, Yggdrasil. And I'm sure you can do some research and find out more about that. But I'm using that as a metaphor here for what is happening. Many of us are like that tree of life, right now that Yggdrasil in the days of Ragnorak. We're experiencing our own personal Ragnaraks, where all that is the branches, all that is out there, all that we, even the internal columns, those things that we depended upon, that we thought were going to be there a little while longer, they are burning up in the fires of transformation. And this will take us on a journey deep, deep inside. And it's here that you have to find your own cosmic spine, so to speak. I was having a conversation the other day at my birthday party. I'm born on New Year's Day, so each year I have a small private birthday party for my friends and spiritual associates. And there was a young lady there. She was brought by another one of my friends. So I made a new friend. And she is just on the cusp of adulthood and going to college. And she was talking about formulating her dreams, how, yes, she was going to college, but she hadn't really formulated all of her dreams yet. And thinking about what it would take to make them come true. And I offered her just a bit of guidance. It was welcome, okay? If you're going to offer guidance, always make sure it's welcome, okay? Otherwise, you're just being a butthole. So I always make sure before I offer guidance if it's something that's welcome. But well, maybe what I have to say isn't always welcome, but at least if a person is open to hearing guidance, then that helps. But anyway, you hear a lot about how it takes a plan and action and all these things to make your dreams come true. And it's true that you do need a plan and you need to take action in the visceral world. But really, I think if you are on a path where you are reaching for a higher vision, and I'm thinking that you probably are, or you wouldn't be watching this video, and especially if you've gone through a personal Ragnarok, if you've gone through that burning up, like the phoenix, you're being consumed in the fires of transformation. If you are going through that or have just recently gone through that, I bet you that you are looking to reach up and out for a path of higher inspiration, that you have an aspiration, something you're working towards, even if you don't know what it is, even if the aspiration is just to have aspiration again. And that's okay. So, I mean, maybe you want to get out there and have a plan and take action, and maybe it's even for the planet. Maybe you are one of the change makers and the light workers you're just trying to help raise the light in the consciousness and create a better world. Maybe you're interested in doing something about human rights or global climate change, or any of the number of issues that we're facing, healthcare, childcare, families. There's so many. But still, how do you make that dream come true? Well, first of all, you don't make it come true. I mean, you do add your energy to it, but one of the important things besides just, taking action, okay, because here's the thing, a lot of people get all gung-ho in the beginning when they're first seeking those aspirations, and especially right now at the time of the year I'm making this video, because it is in January, early January still, medium early. You set your resolutions, you set your goals, and then you take a little action, but then, you fizzle out by February half the time, or if it's not, January. Just my point is that a lot of people get started on the path and they're going after their dreams or their aspirations, and then they just fall back. And why is that? It's because they don't have any heart and soul in it, and it's also because they don't have a spine, so to speak. And that's really what I want to talk to you about, because the spine is the tree of life within us. The spine is the part of you, that will take a stand for a dream, that will not compromise in the pursuit of that dream, that is hungry, that does not deter in the face of obstacles, that doesn't give up. And I told this young lady who was at my party when she was thinking about planning her dreams and, what does it take to make dreams come true? Because I do know I've made many of my dreams come true. My most precious childhood dreams, I think, I used to think all of them would come true, and then I remembered new ones. So many of them have come true. And I had to have a spine. So that's what I told her. I said, it takes a heart. First of all, you have to let the dream get into your heart. And that takes time. And whatever your age is, wherever you're starting at, make sure you give yourself enough time to let that dream settle in your heart. And make sure it is a dream in your heart. Because in my opinion, those are the only dreams worth going for. And so many times people chase after passive action and follow dreams that aren't their own dreams. Those dreams aren't even in their heart, or it's because that's what they're told they're supposed to do. And maybe they get that thing, maybe they don't, but they're not happy in the end. So it's all a waste. It's all a waste. And maybe you've done that. And if you have, you know what I'm talking about. So take time to tune into your heart, as much time as you need, and let that dream incubate in your heart some, even if it takes months or years. And then have a spine. When you start to go after a dream, or you start to go on a path of change, of conscious awakening, have a spine, have a backbone. Do not back down once you set out on that course. And don't think it's going to be easy. You know, I keep seeing all these memes out there on various social media channels and sites, and it's all about, especially the energies we're in now, and they say, oh, Jupiter and Saturn and Pluto aligning in Capricorn, it's going to mean instant world peace and love and light all at once. No, it's not. That stuff has to be won. That has to be grown into. That has to be developed. I mean, if you think that humanity, where we're at now, and the level, I mean, the lack of consciousness we still have, you know, as a collective, I mean, we are still rising up. We are still learning. We are still growing. I mean, if you think we're going to go from that to instant world peace overnight, just because there were some planets aligning in Capricorn, of all signs, I mean, that is, you know, that's would be nice. I would love that if that were possible, but that's not the way it works, especially with the sign of Capricorn. And just going forward into all of the astrology we're having, the times that we're living in, this is a process of transformation. That's what I'm saying. So you can't skip the steps. You can't skip the steps. We have to grow and evolve as a species, and it's still going to take more time yet. And that's one of the lessons that Capricorn can teach us, is patience and having all the time in the world, because truly we do. I mean, if viewed from eternity, if viewed from the non-physical realms, I mean, I understand in the physical sense we may not have all the time in the world, and there are ramifications of what we're doing to the planet that would be very wise if we halted those immediately. But spiritually speaking, we are going to have all the time that we need, all the time that we wish to take. And on the other hand, if we are true to our past, if we are willing to have courage and strength and not back down and not give up when things get hard. I mean, not give up. How many people, you know, say, oh yeah, it's going to be instant love and light and peace, and when, you know, the first news about war, they just cave in and, you know, turn into a bawling mess. Stay strong in your light vision for yourself and for others. Don't let that fade away just because of appearances in the outer world. This is part of the lesson of all of these configurations we're having in the year 2020 in the signs of Capricorn, among others, in the sign of Capricorn. It's a reminder to have a spine, to be strong, to be rooted in your own tree of life. You know, you have within you the ability to connect to all realms of wisdom. I know you may have been told by others, by religion, by politics, even by some psychics, by some spiritual leaders, you may have been told you do not have that ability, but you do. You just have to learn to listen, to get still, to go into your heart and also into the third eye. And that is a practice that takes time. That does. And it takes a spine, again, for you to make that a priority. I can't tell you how many people will say, I'd really love to study with you, Cynthia, or I'd really love to do this dream, you know, whatever it is, whether it involves psychicism or not, but I just don't have time. And I say, if you don't have time to follow your dream, if you don't have time to tend to your spiritual path, what the hell are you doing with your time? I mean, if you have small children at home, okay, I get that. You have to take care of those babies. That's your number one job, your number one role. And, that is such a sacred task. So please, tend to that first. But other than that, I mean, if you don't have small babies at home to take care of, then you need to be following your path. How can you soar like that plane overhead that just flew overhead? How can you soar? I'm sure you heard it. How can you soar like that without spine enough to make time for your dreams and for your goals and to stick to that path and to stick to your higher vision? So anyway, these are some things that are on my mind on this cold, wintry day. And I hope that this helps you to stay strong on your path, light workers and awakening ones, fellow co-creators in the realms of Midgard, in the realms of Earth. And maybe we are living in Ragnorak. It's entirely possible. But life will come again. It always does. Whether it's your own personal Ragnorak or the collective Ragnorak, life persists. Life goes on. Never forget. Until next time, all the love of the cosmic heart to you, dear ones. From my heart to yours, bright blessings